Hello and welcome to another amazing stream here on Saturday evening. We're once again back with some more interesting matches, this time between APL Seoul and APL Veneris, which I am personally looking forward to. These two teams both coming from the same organization. So this is going to be bragging right to see who's going to be going against a fellow team of theirs as well. If we have a look at the standings in a moment. But before we do that, as we do this, as you can see, APL Desmos already going ahead. So they'll be fighting yet another team there. So a good little rivalry between all the teams at Apollo. Hopefully one of these two teams will be able to knock APL Desmos out of its orbit of Mars straight into the planet. But we'll see if either of these two teams are up for the task. But I am not alone in watching this incredible fight. I am Jaffa, a little cupcake that's escaped from the Jaffa Cake factory, and I am here with a amazing co-caster.
Howdy, howdy. I'm Brisk, coming to you from good old sunny Los Angeles. So, like he said, we are going to see a good match between. This is going to be first week of playoffs. APL Sol versus APL Veneris. So, honestly, we could probably just refer to them as Sol and Veneris at this point, since it looks like they're all coming from the same place. And even next week, they are competing for a spot in the semifinals, where they, like you said, will be competing against Deimos. So, overall, it's probably from our perspective going to be a good match, good competitive match. From their perspective, they're probably not going to hear the end of it once whoever wins today. So overall, I think we're looking for a good match.
Absolutely. I certainly wouldn't be hearing the end of it if I was in one of these teams. We would certainly be wanting to tell everyone else just how much better we are. We won, we beat you in the grand finals. Remember that. Certainly stands up a little bit of a pecking order because APL Apollo, they've sent a lot of teams around to this season.
Yeah, we do have a very strong APL presence in these even in just these playoffs. As you see here, this first week we had Terra, Sol, Veneris, and Deimos all play. And even in next week, we're gonna see 3 of the 4 teams for semifinals, all APL, being Terra, Deimos, and whoever the winner of this match is. So we could very well see a finals of all APL, unless Connecticut Circus can pull it out against APL Terra. But yeah, it's very strong APL presence today.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the match to watch out for is Kinetic Circus versus APL Terror, because anyone who isn't from Apollo, all your hopes are riding on that one team being able to beat APL Terror. Otherwise, we'll end up seeing an Apollo lockout for this tournament with the top teams all going to the same organization.
Yeah, it's it's like it's a playoffs monopoly, as one might call it. A lot of APL presence, a lot of teams from Apollo coming in today. So I think it's a very dominant monopoly from them today. But what we're going into that, we could take a look at our standings. And who do you think is winning today? Who do you think's taking it home?
Who do I think is going to be taking it home? You know what? I'm going to have not my money, but I'm gonna put my chips on Seoul today. I think that Seoul are likely to come out on top for me personally. I just think uh, some of the games that I've seen them play in the past have been quite inspiring, honestly. I think they're probably one of the better teams in this whole tournament, but I don't know. Then again, I thought that Berlin Monkeys were going to be up there in the grand finals, but unfortunately they got knocked out in this round. So who knows?
Yeah, it's like you said, it really could go either way. Saul could win it because we do have all the members of Salt. They have a bread and butter for each hero that they just love to play. You got Chasm, loves the Wrecking Ball. Krakow loves the Sojourn, all that fancy schmancy stuff. They stick with their comfort rules. They know, like, hey, this is what I like. This is what works. So we could, like you said, see them running something like that again. But I do want, speaking of past matches, going back on what you were saying, we do and should talk about the Challenger finals from our Challenger division. That just recently wrapped up. We actually had Unicorn Rage winning that one, and if you guys haven't seen it, it is on our YouTube. So feel free to go check it out. Crown Cup at YouTube. You can take a look at the Challenger Finals, any match before that. All great stuff. But going into that, again, we do right now see right here, just like it was, Unicorn Rage win. But we want to ask, what do we want to ask? What heroes do we think we're going to see today?
Well, that wasn't the question I was expecting, but what kind of heroes do you think we're going to be seeing today? Well, I'm not entirely sure. I mean, sure, both of these teams, both of the tanks, they seem to really like that Wrecking Ball. So maybe we might see some Wrecking Ball. Both of these teams maybe might go for a bit of a mirror match. Maybe they might play some of their more fun compositions and not necessarily go for the win, in which case we might see, yeah, Lucio trying to get lots of boops and environmental kills, Wrecking Balls, messing around, doing all sorts of cheeky little plays. Maybe we might see quite a bit of dive in that respect.
I totally agree. I think with the ball, with the Lucio probably on both sides, as well as we see a favor of the Sojourn, maybe not fully dive, but she is quite mobile, as well as the Tracer and Echo plays from BB on the side of Veneris. So honestly, I could totally see it. I could see a dive comp come out. I could even see something along the lines of Brawl, as we do see the Junkrat. Via does love to run that Junkrat, so we could see something of a Junkrat Brawl or even a poke. But if they're using the ball, they might favor something more in the face.
I have seen some ridiculous plays on the Junkrat, so I would never count out a Junkrat. In a previous stream, which if you want to watch again, go and check out our YouTube channel, Crown Cup Esports. All the VODs are there as well. We saw a Junkrat just absolutely demolishing the opposing team. So I think it's entirely possible that we see just like some weird oddball picks as well.
Yeah, and I'm all for it. I feel like modern Overwatch, they've done a really good job of kind of diluting the comps that we're kind of used to. We see a lot of we're almost seeing a lot of branches between them. Where in old Overwatch, there was strictly dive, there was strictly poke, strictly brawl. But now with the introduction of more heroes that do a bunch of different things and are kind of hybridized between those comps, we almost can see we almost see a lot of new, like you said, oddball comps coming out. So some people might run Mauga for a series of, maybe they want to do a dive or a brawl Mauga. Either or works, and that's kind of what I like about new age Overwatch. We see a lot of those crazy comps. We see a lot of people in the lab. We see people cook nowadays.
Yeah, absolutely. I do feel like there's a lot of ability to run lots of different heroes nowadays rather than before, where realistically if you're running, let's say a brig during one particular part, either you were going to win or you were going to lose, right? There was depending on which part of the time of the meta you were playing in. And there's a lot of other heroes like that as well, but now I feel like most heroes are reasonably viable. It doesn't have to be a particular meta. As long as like the whole composition works together, you don't have two different heroes sort of competing for different styles of play. You can absolutely make any hero work.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, I feel like we see comps nowadays, and even now with the reintroduction of 6v6 a while back, we see a lot of tank combos that you just wouldn't expect. I think last match I played, I saw a Roadhog Doom tank duo, and they made it work. I absolutely love it. People are in the lab with modern day Overwatch, and I'm all here for it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. There's definitely been some interesting tank compositions with the 6v6 coming back, and I think some of that might be because a lot of the tanks have sort of gone through a bit of a revitalization and how they play, with some of their toolkit being touched on a little bit, just to make them viable in 5v5. And because of that, I feel like the sort of off tank, main tank roles that we used to see are maybe getting a little bit smushed and blurry compared to before.
I totally agree. And I kind of like it. And going back on what I said, we do see a lot of hybrid tanks nowadays. You look at a character like Ramatra, right? Back in old Overwatch, you'd think, oh, a tank is either really mobile and does low damage, or they're just like or they're kind of pokey, kind of brawly. And then you have Ramatra, who can fire his staff from like all the way across the world, put up a shield. Oh, close range fight? All right, time to get big, boys. Time to pull out the sleeper build. So we get tanks like that it's just complete creative freedom with Blizzard, and I love when they do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Although sometimes I am a little bit concerned because the most recent tank Domina, as much as Blizzard describe and market it as a, a poke tank, I just don't think it plays as a poke tank. It just seems to be more like Ramattra with, you got that boob that you can use to just instantly heal up tremendous amounts of shield. You've got, sure, your laser is a laser, but it doesn't matter if it's at max range or min range, it's still going to do the same amount of damage. I just feel like they're sometimes missing the ball on what a hero, why a hero makes the hero that it is.
Yeah, I've been messing around with a bit with the Domino a bit myself, and I do absolutely love playing her. But I totally know what I totally know what you're saying. Where she doesn't fully feel like a poke. Now I can poke with her, which feels kind of nice, but it's more her shield life as well as she's a poke tank that you almost got to play corners with a bit more. She has the shield, but it doesn't last very long. It's mainly used as a getaway. But interrupting my tangent quick, we do have hero bans coming out. We are going to see
We do
APL
indeed.
Sol banning the Sigma. So hilarious that we're actually just talking about poke. It looks like Sol doesn't want to see poke. They're banning the Sigma, getting it out of the way. There is, like I said, the chance for the Domina, but not going to be as pokey with the Sigma. On the other side, we got Veneris banning Sojourn, which I could kind of see coming. They probably don't want to see Krakow running that Sojourn, as he could just absolutely get a dominant performance because Sojourn is just one of those heroes. So completely understandable bans. The Sigma is definitely going to push the Sigma ban definitely going to push us more in a dive direction. So we could see a double ball, mirror ball coming out of that there. But overall, what do you think of these bans?
I think these bans are interesting for a lot of different reasons, but so interesting in particular because both of these teams, they're going to have a little bit of overlap, maybe some of the same sort of coaching staff. They probably played against each other, scrimmed against each other. They probably know each other reasonably well. So coming out with these picks probably tells us a lot about how these teams like to play, the kind of strategies and philosophy that they're going through with. And Sigma ban, yeah, makes sense. You got the poke. He's actually quite strong at the moment, which is something I would never expect to say, even 3 months ago. I thought Sigma was the worst possible tank you could pick. But and then the Sojourn, as you're saying, yeah, Sojourn is a powerful hero. You've got a little bit of overlap with some other heroes, but the extra mobility allows for a bit more maneuverability around compared to, say, a Cassidy.
Yeah. And we are getting into the match here, and going based on that, with you saying they have similar coaching staff, you think they pull out the hero bands and they see a comp, and like the coach on each side is like, I woke up and knew you'd do something like that today. Like they're just like old friends playing chess.
Maybe. I mean, it's certainly possible for such a thing to happen. We do
Ooh, we
have
do see
the
a
wrecking
big
ball
ball
going in
slam
early
coming
on the
in here,
dive.
though. He's just going to get a little bit of value, not going to go for any picks in particular, just to kind of disrupt the side of Veneris, just to hopefully make their push a little slower, allowing for the rest of Saul to get on. We do see the Emery get an early pick for the side of Saul, looking real good. That's a tank pick, meaning Saul is going to be able to march right on in, probably possibly do a little bit of cleanup. We do see Yikes trying to go for that Lucio as well. He's not going to quite get it, but he is going to back off a bit as the Tracer is going on to him. V14 on the Junkrat that we know and love. Just going to be looking for just kind of putting pressure down on the side of Veneris, hoping to get any value that he can. Ooh, that is going to be the ball going down for APL Sol. One of the members of Veneris getting low, gets healed back up. Avalon going to pick up the Lucio as well, and that's going to be a quick turnaround coming from the side of Veneris.
Yeah, I mean, APL Seoul, they managed to get that victory pretty quickly early on, but eventually things flipped around for them. So not everything's going in their favor. I'm a bit surprised as well. They are kind of mirroring the conversations a little bit at the time, but this
Yeah,
this
and it's
Tracer seems to be perhaps all the key.
A very quick recontest here, though, coming out of Salt. They don't want Veneris to get a lot of point value. Avalak going for any kills that he can, just trying to get that kill on the Kiriko. Not going to quite get it, though his ball is going to be slamming in to hopefully knock someone up for him. But like I say, the other ball coming in from the other side is going to take a little trip off the map. Courtesy of Farouk. That is absolutely huge. APL Sol not wanting to see that. Veneris might be able to move in now if they play it carefully. Avalak picking up Orpheus as well. That is exactly what you're looking for to keep your hold on this point. And now it's just both teams. Avalak, again, picking up Discard. This guy absolutely playing out of his mind already. And that's going to be Veneris holding our point.
Yeah, I really think that this Lucio is probably the key in both of these conversations, really. Getting those beeps, getting those confirmation kills, working with the ball as well is going to be really critical. You see this Trace as well working with them, and the first kill already from Sol.
Mine's coming out. Here it comes. Party gets started. Farouk is going to pick up V14, so it's a trade on both sides. Chasm picks up his counterpart, and Jever with the mines. Farouk taking out Yikes, dude. BB getting dangerously low. Is going to get back healed. But we do see the Kiriko counterpart pick coming out of the side. Descartes going to go down to that. Farouk picks up his counterpart as well. Chasm going to pick up BB, and it could really go either way. Trades coming out of both sides. Veneris still holding this point, though, getting all the value that they absolutely can. And we see a little roll through for Chasm coming in, trying to get any value he can. He does get half. Tire coming out. Is it going to find anyone? Just barely going to miss Farouk. And now, overtime ticking down. Sol going to have to scramble to get something. That could be what they look for. We do see a counterpart pick onto Avalak. Make it 2 more picks coming out of the side of Sol. Veneris absolutely scrambling to find a solution, and we are going to see a breath of life for Sol.
My word, that was quite the fight there. Getting it all the way onto overtime as well, committing those ultimates as well, was just what they needed. But picking off the first few heroes from Venice was what they needed to try and get that win. And they just kind of grew from there. They got the space that they needed and played off it.
Yeah, I totally agree. But we already, a big theme here, these quick recontests, both teams just wanting to flip the point. APL Veneris very close to doing so. They are going to get held a little bit, though. Avalak picks up Yikes. That's a huge pick. Orpheus doing anything he can to stay alive is going to go down to Jever. Patisserie getting really low. Going to have to use this just to keep themselves alive. And it's just a scramble coming out from the side of Sol as Descartes is going to fall to BB. Veneris looking real dominant in this fight. Sol going to have to find any solution that they can. V14 in here fighting for his life against the hamster, but it is going to be Veneris taking our first point.
Yeah, honestly, that's quite impressive from both of these teams. They were using their ultimates reasonably well. I don't really have much comments on most of it, but the compositional choices, though, with the Tracer, I think is probably the main reason here. The Tracer has a lot more ability to contest the space than, say, the Junkrat has. You can really follow up on the dives much better and the plays that your ball is making. So just having that extra hero who's able to play with the ball to take advantage of the disruption that ball is making, that you can pick off a couple of heroes, that's really what you need, and it seems like they are doing that to great effect. But we do see a switch, I think maybe just to get them to the point a bit quicker, but we'll see.
Oh, yep, the good old classic Symmetra switch. Both sides going to go back to the Emre. Just for a quick fight here. Avalak probably looking for any picks that he can with this ball disruption. Jever going to get dangerously low. He is going to have to back off. A lot of members of Veneris getting dangerously low. They're just going to do a quick rotation back onto the point just to ensure that they can at least grab the point even if they lose the fight. No picks coming out yet, but as I say that, V14 is going to pick up Pass Ray. Huge pick onto a support. And now that could be the Warhorn that signals Sol being able to go in. BB getting dangerously low, going to fall to Descartes as well. So if you're Sol, now it is the time to march on the point. Veneris just going to back off a little bit, respect the game, and that's going to be an early take from Sol.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, ironically, this time the Junkrat was doing a lot of work, and it was just creating so much damage and space and threats from those.
Ooh, Yikes getting low there. We do see a Tracer recall out. Another quick recontest. We do see Yikes throwing a grenade in the door, looking to get anything that he can, just looking for any pick that he can, but he's not going to find it. Instead, V14 going to find BB, but as I say that, Avalak does pick up the Lucio, so it's a bit of a trade coming out from each side, though Veneris is getting a little bit lower than Sol. And it looks like it's going to be Saul holding this point as they are just going to have a little bit better of a cleanup game.
Yeah, but they still have a couple of fights available to them, Venice. So we'll see how that will go. They do have some ultimates almost online, so hopefully they're going to be able to use that to better advantage over APL Seoul, who currently have the points.
Oh, right. We do see Chasm probably just holding on to these mines, either to disrupt their push or to even just hold the point if it gets really dicey for them. But both balls going to collide on point here. The Tracer looking to get any value he can, but Chasm doing a really good job of just keeping him at bay. We do see the override come out. Avalak getting dangerously low, though. Jever going to pick up V14, and now it's just trades coming out of both sides. Ult's coming out either way. Mine's going to come out from both balls. It is an absolute minefield on point. It is a dangerous, dangerous game to play there right now. Beat coming out of the side of APL. Saul, yikes, going to pick up his counterpart, or he's going to pick up Farouk, actually. And it is just overall ult after ult, both Kiriko ults mirroring each other. Jever going to pick up Yikes. The Junkrat just looking to get any value he can. Probably looking for this tire. There it is. Can he get anyone in it? Just going to hold it for a little bit as Descartes does pick up Birdie. V14 going to follow up with the tire onto Avalak. And it's looking like everything is falling apart for APL Veneris. They need to come up with an answer quick. Otherwise, OT is going to tick down. And that is going to be Saul tying up the map.
Yeah, I think this time their strategy was just shining just a little bit better, a little bit brighter this time around. The Junkrat was doing plenty of work. The Amory as well, a new hero added to the Overwatch roster. Not so much of a tickle monster anymore, really dishing out that damage, and with some good aim, just like these players had, then you are able to pick up the kills that you need. And surprisingly, I think as well, the geometry of the map also lends itself well, just a little bit better to this kind of Junkrat pick. And with this third map as well, sorry, sub map here.
Yeah,
I think again, if you take the high ground with the Junkrat, you sit up there, you're going to be able to do a lot of contesting that other members are not really going to be able to deal with. Sure, you have the ball, but that's just not going to be enough.
Yeah, as a Halo player, I absolutely love Emery. It brings back so many memories. The grenades, the weapon switching, all that. But that aside, we are going to see our first fight break out very quickly. Both teams doing a good job of speedily getting to point. BB getting hit by a concussion line there. Just going to get out with their life. Just looking for any pick that they can, any disruption. Jever going to go in deep, is going to get down to half, but his counterpart is going to take his DPS line out. That's not what you want to see if you are Veneris. Make it 3 as he picks up a support as well. Jever going to have to absolutely haul just to be able to match that, and it's not looking like he's going to be able to, as Saul is going to get Veneris off the point with a definitive play from Chasm.
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to catch what went on there, but catching the kill on the slam, obviously the rest of the team are going to have called that damage out to say that these two players are low. You see the opportunity, the ball goes for it, gets the kill, and now they won the fight off of that.
Jever going in dangerously deep. BB getting low as well. All the members of Veneris gonna have to heal up a little bit, stabilize here. BB getting low again. Jever at the same time. Farouk Avalak falling. Make it 2 already down on the side of Veneris. Make it 3 as Farouk falls to Yikes as well. And that is going to be Chasm just chasing his counterpart all the way back to spawn. And if you're APL Veneris, you're at the drawing board right now. You're wondering, how do we handle this guy, Chasm?
I mean, it's going to be an important question to be asking for sure because they are on a roll at the moment. I mean, I'm glad that my prediction at least appears to be coming true here with Soul looking strong in the first map. But we started to do some spin to win already as they start to contest.
Chasm looking for these mines. He does get low from the pole spawn, but he's just waiting for his golden opportunity. There it is. Puts it right from the top rope. V14 going to take out Avalak. Mines might not even be needed as Veneris already getting pretty low. Patisserie dies to a V14 melee attack, but there it is. V14 again. We do see a bit of trays come out. Birdie going to pick it up, but it's not going to be enough as Chasm again with V14 absolutely playing out of his mind this fight. Going to pick up Jever, and that is just going to be another definitive fight win coming out of the side of Saul.
Yeah, but it is still overtime though, so there's still potential here for Venice to reclaim the the point as they do the push into overtime,
Ooh,
but
an
V14 picks up a
early
kill.
pre-fight kill from V14 with the tire. You love to see it. Beat coming out of Veneris just to keep themselves alive. Patisserie, though, getting dangerously low. Chasm spinning out of his mind, looking for any kills that he can. He might even just pick something up. Jever, though, going to pick up V14. Another trade coming out of the Lucio, going to pick up Patisserie. So it could really be anyone's fight at this point. Making his Descart picks up Jever as well. Saul looking really strong in this fight. Making Descart picking up another one. Picking up the slack. Make it 3. He is going to make it so that APL Saul is going to take our first map.
Yeah, once again, a bright start here by APL Soul. I mean, the first round might have looked a little shaky to some, but those second and third rounds were just dominant, really, especially that last one. I mean, they were just able to work together. V14 getting the kills where they needed to, being in the right position as well is crucial in this messy fights that were going on time and time again. They were just able to capitalize on it and get the victory.
Yeah, it was honestly, I think overall, it was just every member of Salt playing out of their minds for that last round. You had Chasm with that first fight absolutely going off, killing 3 right off the rip. And then right after that, you get V14, second, third fights, just absolutely getting those necessary picks. Even that tire pre-fight in the last fight. And then right after that, you get Descart picking up the reins, taking the baton, getting a triple kill of his own, securing him that map. So it's just like each individual member of APL Sol is just absolutely carrying their weight today. And I think that is what really allowed them to very quickly turn that map around.
Yeah, I think that not only were at times APL Soul just kind of out mechanicking their opponents, the tempo as well. They kept it up throughout the entire round. You saw, like you were mentioning with the tire at the very end before the fight even begun, all of those little things kind of stack up to keep control of the fight, the tempo, all of these things. I know it's a very abstract concept, but I mean, maybe you felt it there today.
Yeah, losing that Emre, especially with both Emre's playing really well today, losing that Emre in the final fight, not what you want to see if you're Veneris. That tire absolutely devious. They had to beat just to counteract its effect. So it's one of those things where not only do you get a player out of the way, but you get an early ultimate use from the other side. So that was just a huge value tire, even if it was just one kill.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also think as well that some of these perks that these team members had been picking are also going to be taking effect as well. It's probably something that doesn't really get talked about very much is the perks because it's such a recent addition into Overwatch. And I think it's taking a little bit of a while for these to really kind of come into the zone and really affect the way that you can maximize and minimize how you play certain heroes. I think that by choosing those perks that they did, really allowed them to pick up some cheeky kills that they probably shouldn't have gotten otherwise.
I do like the addition of the perks. I think it gives each character a level of depth and almost like it almost feels like it makes it so that you can kind of lean into different play styles just as one singular character. And I kind of like that, and I think it really gives a lot to the game that it was lacking before. But overall, like you said, those perks allow them to get the kills. Maybe it allows them to strengthen a certain playstyle that they already use for heroes that allows them to enable those kills. But yeah, overall, very, very dominant performance coming out of Saul there. It looked a little dicey at first. Veneris did take the first point, but yeah, Saul just kind of figured it out. They're just like, all right, this Veneris team, we got the number on them.
And maybe that's from all the experience of perhaps swimming against each other all these times that you just kind of have a bit of an uncling of who is what and why. And maybe that's also something that some of the coaches staff as well are going to be taking on board. They've seen a lot of different teams play the same sort of strategies. They are able to pick up that same kind of information. And maybe some teams are just able to apply it a little bit more consciously, proactively than others. But I'm really kind of getting into the hypothetical weeds that we really don't really know, to be honest, because all we really get to see is two teams duking it out today. And I'm excited to see what they're going to be doing for the next map because I'm I'm curious,
Oh,
what
yeah,
are they
because
gonna
I
pick? What's been
believe
the
for our
favorite?
next map, oh, you love to see it. Scrims Row every single time. You know, a lot of people don't think about it, but that background for Kings Row, honestly phenomenal. Now, I'm someone that came from a rural area, so I see like those big buildings with the lights, and that's awesome. It's why I love the maps like Midtown. Like it really like it's just those little details. I'm sure there's one artist over at Blizzard right now who's like shedding a tear watching this. Like somebody appreciates it.
Yeah, I mean, Scrim's Row, as it is sometimes called, is one of my favorite maps in the entire world to be chosen and played. It's a very broad map, but it's very important that you control the high ground as well, especially on first point. Controlling those different kind of zones and lanes is helpful, but I'm not entirely sure if they're going to be able to do that now that their Junkrat ban has been played by Veneris. I mean,
And we do
perhaps a little bit of
see
a targeted ban, but a ban
Yeah,
nonetheless.
V14 probably gonna V4 if you're V14, you're sitting there, a little bit of grief thinking, "Ah," and you know what? I totally get it. I'm a Junkrat stan myself. I absolutely there's just something fun about not about being able to just pull the trigger with reckless abandon. Not not a care in the world, just being able to get picks. But yeah, so we're gonna see that ban come out of Veneris. But let's talk about Saul's ban, the Zarya. We haven't seen anyone run the Zarya yet. This could be just a preventative one because Zarya is a very popular pick on Kings Row, and maybe Saul just doesn't even want to see it out of Veneris, gets one big obstacle out of the way. So what are you thinking about that?
I think Zarya is quite a strong hero, especially on this map. The Zarya uh, Reaper meta, for example, is very popular, is very powerful, right? You've got your Reaper kind of going forth, trying to get some of charge for your Zarya, who can just microwave down people with their left click. And with some of the perks as well available to Zarya, you can be doing some serious damage. But they're also the kind of character that plays well with sort of a long kind of
We are seeing a
battle,
lot
right?
of
Long match fights, which
interesting picks. We do
yeah.
see something divey coming out of the side of Saul. Just the Widow looking for this quick pick. Yep. Gonna do an immediate switch off. Probably gonna see like a Tracer. Oh, Sojourn instead. So Saul looking to dive real fast here. Chasm already way deep in the back. But BB is gonna take down V14. So that's not a good start to your dive. If you're Saul, they do need to pick something else up. Chasm is gonna get dangerously low. Though Jever also diving in, getting equally as low. Chasm trying to finish him off, not going to quite get it. But he is. He is going to pick him up. So that is going to be a tank missing for Veneris. That could be Saul's opportunity to go in, pick up the rest of the kills, do what they can. BB just absolutely trying to get anything he can, trying to disrupt any push that Saul is trying to do. But they are going to get our first tick onto the point as he is going to pick up Yikes Dude. That could be the beginning of a back off. All the members of Saul getting dangerously low. Jevy going to pick up Orpheus. So it could just be one tick only. BB going to pick up another in Deskar. V14 is going to get Farouk, but the damage is already done. Avalak picking up V14 as well. And that's going to be about half the point taken for Saul.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's really demonstrated of how important these high grounds are
Uh-oh.
to be
Uh-oh.
taken.
Ooh. We very quickly
But
saw
you
it.
saw in the retake as well, maybe with a little bit of the outline, some of Veneris up on the high ground as well,
Ooh.
removing their ability to be in two of those three places of the high ground. And as soon as they do that,
Ooh.
then
Chasm's got to be careful,
they've
though.
really
Yep.
won the fight and they've won the
Avalak
point.
takes out Avalanche takes out Chasm. V14 goes down to Farouk as well. All the members of APL Saul got dangerously low there, but now they just got to back up as this Veneris team is just doing what they can to push them. Ooh, Deskar gonna go down to Farouk. That's not what you want to see. That's a big stagger. And now Farouk just has this kind of pseudo transcendence. No, it's like a worldwide diva matrix.
Yeah, it's like a diva matrix, yeah. But you got to
We
know
do
how
see
to use
Saul,
it.
though, despite the losses, making a dominant presence on point with the help of these mines. V14 going to pick up Farouk. So that is a very fast, very dominant turnaround for Saul. Not what I was expecting to see come out so quickly. We do see the mines come out from the counterpart in Jever. Just trying to get some point stabilization here. Beat coming out of Yikes Dude, getting anything he can as he is going to pick up Jever, make it V14, pick up BB as well, and that is going to be Saul taking the point.
Yeah, honestly, a bit of an overall though. They are pushing in forward. They're trying to pick up a few extra kills, but I'm surprised that they actually won that fight. They, you know, they had the high ground, but then they
Orpheus
sort of
picked up his
gave up all their
counterpart
high
as
ground.
well. Look at that. Chasm taking out Avalac as well. Saul deciding we're not done. We're done when we say we're done. Chasm gonna pick up another impetus right. They're not even letting him get out. The Maywall gonna stop Jever as Descart does take him down. And look at this. Saul has pushed Veneris all the way back to spawn. Look at this. They're just spawn camping them now.
I mean, that is some crazy pressure and aggression as well. That is being well managed. They've pulled it off. They've not been, you know, challenged about it. Just not able to regroup in the way that it's able to pressure them. So they've been getting so much free space, so many chokes that.
Yeah, look at all this point progress they're getting. They're already halfway.
He's even just noticing
yeah,
the point.
He's just taking a breather. Bro's just taking a load off. He's just chilling. He's like, man, I got the easiest job in the world right now. He got one of them cushy desk jobs just sitting on the payload.
Absolutely. I mean, that sounds like a cushy jet stop that I would have
liked.
liked.
Jever. Oh, we do see a quick turnaround here, though. Jever is going to pick up his counterpart. Avalac takes out V14. And it looks like APL Salt might have been slacking a little too much there on the point, as Veneris is going to quickly turn it around. But look at all that point progress. I don't think so.
I think there's just far too many ultimates being thrown out there. You know, you have the Mizuki ultimate, you had the bomb, you had beats, you know. Those kind of ultimates are being used is going to be costly.
Ooh, Saul getting low. Jever is going to take out Discard. We see the mines on point. Probably just trying to get any dominance that he can. But Chasm not going to make it out with his life. BB going to make sure that Veneris looking to push him back. Avalac takes out Yikes Dude. And now we see it the other way around. Now it's Saul getting pushed all the way back to spawn. So it's just haymakers coming out of left and right. We do have the male. He's probably looking for it.
The male is a powerful ult. It's going to be really good at zoning your enemies. So hopefully they're going to be using that to really prevent the push from making as much progress as they can.
We do see a Kiriko ult come out. We see the Kitsune rush. Is it going to get any value? Avalac looking for something as Jever is going to pick up. Yikes. Make it Jever going down as well, though. BB takes out Descart. So it's just kind of an absolute trade fest on point. Call it the farmer's market. As Patisserie takes out V14, Farouk takes out Orpheus, and that might just be the end of this push for Saul, as Chasm also going to go down.
I mean, I'm a little bit concerned about that push there from, you know, APL Saul. I think that there's just quite a few problems demonstrated there, frankly. They just kind of got dismembered very quickly, fell apart, were no longer grouped up, and as soon as they did that, they just were not able to get to the point and even contest or really have much of a fight.
Ooh, BB looking for that pulse bomb, but not expecting to see that many members of Saul right there. He is going to get the pulse bomb out, not going to find anyone. Orpheus, though, is going to pick up Patisserie, but we do see a trade coming out of BB immediately after, so it could go either way. All the members of Saul getting dangerously low. Orpheus is going to fall to Avalac. Avalac picking up another one, a Descart. This could be the stopped push for the side of Saul if they can't figure out anything. Farouk going to take out V14 as well. The ball on the side of APL Saul. Chasm doing everything he can to hold that point, but this might just be Saul in last fight territory. They got bombs. They got the overclock. They got to figure something out, as Yikes Dude does take out Patisserie. That's a great start. The Keke ult coming out doesn't eat the bombs, but it doesn't matter. Veneris getting all real low. Bomb's going to take out BB. Jever does take out Yikes Dude, but look at this. It doesn't matter. APL Saul absolutely doing what they needed to in that last fight, and we are going to see him take that second point.
Yeah, once again, their strategy was pretty much just let's contest the point, make sure that they can't really get on there, but it's safe for us. And using those bombs was what they needed, even though the ultimate came out not able to eat them, unfortunately. Unfortunate there
BB
for them,
picking up Orpheus,
sure
though. That's the beginning of a foothold, beginning of a breath of life for Veneris. Just a little bit of a stabilization. Chasm getting dangerously low there. He's going to have to get out with his life. As Saul, they lose one. They're like, you know what? We just got to play it careful. We got the point. Let's just chill.
They found a point, and they're going to try and assassinate this player, surely.
Oh, my gosh. he's just got to use his ult just to stay alive. We do see the override coming out. Is going to pick up Yikes Dude with it. That is absolutely huge. Kiriko going to just barely get out. Avalak picks up another one. The Kiriko teleport doesn't matter. Orpheus just going to take a little dive off the map for a little sec here. And that might just spell the end of that push before it even really started.
Yeah, they only really got one fight left as well, so and they don't have much ultimates. I mean, sure, you got the beat coming online soon, but I'm not sure if they're going to build it in enough in time.
Another assassination attempt onto this Emre. Not going to find it. Chasm, though, just trying to secure it. Not going to quite get it. We do see the overclock coming out of Yikes. He's looking for someone. He's headhunting. It's open season with railguns, but he's not going to find anyone. Instead, BB is going to find Orpheus. Kitsune Rush coming out. Deskart going to pick up Birdie as well. So it's just kind of an absolute trade after trade coming out. But it's looking more favoring towards the side of Sol as Yikes does take out Jever. He's going to get V14 taking out Avalak as well. Mine's on the point just to keep things nice and secure. And that might just be... Oh no! V14! He's just using the drill to stay alive, but he just can't do it. Orpheus takes out Farouk. Kitsune Rush coming out of the side of Veneris just to keep everyone alive and fast. But this ball absolutely rolling for his life on point. A chaotic end to King's Road, just as I would expect. 2 kills coming out of the side of Sol, and that is going to be our round 1 complete. A full map take for APL Sol.
Yeah, I know I'm supposed to be really excited and hyped about the victory there for APL Sol, getting all the way to the final point with quite a close last fight there, but they were just able to build up the ultimates enough to use them. But I'm most excited about the fact that V14 survived. I have no idea how V14 survived, but they survived! They survived!
I thought he was a goner. He was drilling the air train. He was playing Dig Dug, just trying to fight for his life. But I thought I camera panned away from him. I thought that was an off-screen death, but man, just like Metro Man, I guess his death was greatly exaggerated.
I suppose so. I have no idea how he was able to do that, but I mean, I don't think that was enough to turn the fight around, but, you know, you do have one extra member around, so that's going to help you with that as well. It's unfortunate they weren't able to use beat as well from Orpheus, but, you know, the mines, the drill, the Emre ultimate, all of these things really helped them get at the victory, as well as the ball. They've just been playing really well in disrupting the position and really threatening where their opponents have been sitting, right? You've seen that at least 3 times with the Emre sitting up close and just getting pushed out very quickly, very easily.
You see Avalak looking for a pick, not going to find it, just going to do an immediate switch. He's going to go back to the counterpart Emre. Jever looking to get real deep, though he is going to get chased off a sec there by Yikes Dude. So overall, it's just both balls trying to get deep in while they're being kept out by the Emrys, the supports, anything like that. And so, Deskart getting out barely with his life, as he is going to have to use both the Suzu and the TP to get out. No team's getting any picks yet, though. It's just kind of almost like a Cold War. BB getting dangerously low, looking for any picks that he can anyways. Going to have to recall out. Though we do see Veneris establishing a point presence despite nobody dying. V14 getting dangerously low, make it Yikes Dude as well. This could spell an early point fall for APL Sol if they're not careful. They do stabilize a little bit, though. But Chasm, again, getting dangerously low. Orpheus, anyway, is going to pick up Jever, though BB is going to pick up V14, so it is a trade. And it could go either way at this point. APL Sol, got to be careful getting dangerously low. Orpheus falls to Farouk. That is going to be the scales tipping a little bit in favor of Veneris, as they are going to start to hold this point presence. Can they get that first take? It looks like it's going to go up. APL Sol just doing what they can. They're gonna respect it. They're gonna let them get their point presence. They're gonna come back fast, as we might even just see no comeback at all. Veneris might even just take this point. Orpheus falls to pass Patisserie. Jever doing everything he can to take out V14, but he's gonna have to back off. The Keke ult coming out just to keep the members of Veneris safe while they take this last stretch of the point. Make it V14 falls to Patisserie, and that is gonna be a very methodical take from Veneris.
Yeah, I mean, you saw them really just kind of eking their way up onto the high grounds to contest, and you really need to get at least two of the three zones in order to capture the first point there on King's Row, and they did it really well. They didn't let they didn't let Seoul get a foothold either as well in the recontest, and with comboing that with their ultimate as well to keep them alive from any poke and spray that was coming in, alive. Beautiful work.
Yeah, we see a lot of ults on the side of Veneris as well, so they take this point. Avalak gonna pick up Orpheus before a fight even breaks out. That is absolutely massive. So now Saul is gonna have to give him even more. But Saul doesn't want to back down as Yikes does take out Jever. The mines come out from Chasm. So they're still trying to hold this point. We see an override come out. Avalak gonna die of unknown causes for a minute there. So that might just be Saul being able to stabilize there. You think the
Yeah,
cyborg
I
took
do.
over? It just kind of. You think that's how he died? Was it natural causes, or if it's the cyborg doing it, is it artificial causes?
Oh, it's a good question. I think it might have been the cyborg, given how, or maybe it wasn't the cyborg. Who knows, really? Because this team has been playing with precision so far.
V14, though, doing a little bit of surgery on Avalak there is going to take him out. Chasm going real deep into spawn to just try and find anything that he can. He's not going to find anything quite yet, though. He might even just have to get out. He does do a big slam, though. Gets 3 of them. But he is going to have to get out. V14 just doing what he can to get any value here. He does have the excavation. He could dig up a fossil here. Who's it going to be? Jever just doing what he can to poke him out, though. And now both teams just kind of fighting a cold war right now, as V14 is probably looking for this excavation. And it's just overall both teams. We do see a Casino Rush come out. Veneris trying to get a point presence with it. Beat gonna come out in return from Saul to make sure that point presence isn't fully established. Baby, though, gonna pick up Deskar with a pulse bomb. All the members of Saul getting dangerously low. V14 is gonna fall to Avalak. Yikes might be next in the order. Could be Orpheus as well, though. Make it Yikes. Orpheus using a little tiny beat just to stay a bit alive, but it's not gonna matter. Birdie gonna pick him up anyways. And wow, courtesy of BB, that is going to be Veneris taking that fight.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, APL Soul. Yeah, a V14 went incredibly low. The beat came out to try and keep the team alive a little bit longer. Descart using the Kitsune Rush as well to try and go with the aggression. They have their ultimate,
Avalak
but
getting low.
maybe the ultimate use just wasn't great because they were just, Veneris were able to survive, pull back, and then go back in and hit them twice as hard with
V14,
Tracer.
though, falling to Farouk. This could be Veneris just keeping that momentum. BB doing what he can to follow up on it. No follow-up going to be found yet. Chasm, though, is going to slow things down. He is going to take out Avalak, so it is a trade. But he immediately falls to BB, who is then going to look for the Lucio as well, and he is going to find it with the help of Farouk. And now he's got another pulse bomb up. He might even just use it here for the love of the game.
They did not use it for the love of the game, but they are getting the first point with the carts. Now they're on the last point, and BB is surely going to be looking for a juicy kill with this pulse bomb, working with Ball as they have been so well in that earlier push.
A lot of ults on the side of Veneris. APL Saul going to have to be real careful. All they're coming up on is the override. BB looking for this bomb. Playing it a little bit patient. Throws it out, misses, but that's okay. There's going to be plenty more bombs coming out as Yikes is going to pull out the override system. Avalak doing it in return. So now it's just the battle of the gods right now. Yikes going to get more value, though, as he takes out Farouk. Jever getting dangerously low. Going to die to the grenade from Yikes. Yikes playing out of his mind right now, doing everything he can to finally help his team stabilize.
I mean, yikes, that was a pretty interesting ultimate there. They were trading their ultimates from both of the Emrays, but they were able to pick up 1 kill, and that's probably more than enough to make the difference in that team fight.
Yeah, now we see a pretty even ult economy. Farouk coming up on his ult as well. We see the Kiriko Rush come out. Ooh. It's going to help not much as Yaichu does take out Farouk. Orpheus getting dangerously low as BB finishes him off. And now it's an absolute trade. It could go any way. V14 probably going to hold this excavation. Doesn't want to use it with that low of health as Chasm does take out Avalak. Digging into the ground, taking a little bit of a swan dive there as APL Saul strangely going to stabilize for a little bit here. We do see the mines with Chasm. He might be looking to use them here just to secure it, but it looks like he's going to hold it for the next fight.
Well, the mines are going to be useful in how they've been playing. They're going to mine the side point, sorry, to prevent them from really capping, to try and stall them as much
Ooh.
as longer. You've got the Mizuki Ores, which is a new hero, but
We do see
BB
BB pick
coming
up.
in with a kill.
Yikes. Make it Technochasm falling as well. This could spell disaster for Saul, as Veneris might just march through here, as BB does pick up Orpheus as well. V14 just diving into the ground to stay alive. Does Jever want to use these mines just to keep them stuffed in spawn, as no ult's coming out yet? Jever just looking for the opportunity. There it is. The mine's coming out, but the beat in return from Orpheus just to keep the members of the alive in that, just to keep the members alive in that minefield. Patisserie falls to Yikes Dude, and this could very well be APL Saul restabilizing as Yikes Dude picks up another. Orpheus does fall to BB, so it could still be in dangerous territory as Jever does look for a slam, try to get anyone else he can. Avalak going to pick up Chasm as well. V14 getting dangerously low. The override coming out from Avalak. He's going to find two immediately with it. Make it. Birdie picks up Yikes as well, and that could very well be an OT finish for the side of Veneris. As the Mizuki does come out, Jever just picking up Orpheus. The mine does kill BB. He does recall into it. So still, APL Saul not going down without a fight. Overtime does tick down. Jever just slamming in, getting everything he can. Patisserie doing what they can to keep their teammates alive. The override coming out of Yikes. He's just looking for all the value he can. He's not going to find anyone yet, but he is going to get dangerously low as Jever slamming down, trying to get any value that he can. Saul getting dangerously low. They have to be careful. They got to back off. Nobody has ulti except the Kitsune rush. Birdie looking for that pulse bomb. But that is going to be OT ticking down, and Saul is going to take our second map.
I was watching that entire thing, just really hoping we'd get to see like a 5-4 map or something ridiculous. You know,
Wow. That was
he kept that in
insane.
overtime for a long time.
I think BB got 2 pulse bombs in that fight.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, you saw the Via coming out with that ultimate as well of the Venture to really try and turn it around, and they were able to kick them off the point as well. Enough time for the rest of the team to come onto the point to deal the damage that they needed to dissipate them, and then it was all left to that ball of Veneris to do their best to try and get the as away from the point. And unfortunately, there's only so much that you could really do, especially when the rest of the team are swarming around, and they didn't have any ultimates left remaining. And so eventually, with time ticking, as soon as you come off that point, the time's going away like in seconds.
Yeah, but if you're Veneris, you're not feeling too bad about that loss. It was a hard fought match. It could have really gone either way at the end there, because we always see those super chaotic fights at the end of King's Row every single time. And both teams absolutely gave it their all for that one. But what you do feel bad about if you're Veneris is it's 0-2. It's nearly match point if you're Saul. So if you're Veneris, you gotta pull out something fast and you gotta make it work, because it's reverse sweep or it's nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been wondering how Veneris might be able to turn this around and you know make it uh, make it a challenge for APL Seoul. I did make the prediction at the very start of this series that APL Seoul were going to be in the lead, but I didn't expect them to be taking charge like this. And even though it is 2 maps in their favor, neither of those maps have been particularly always going their way. There has been some times when Veneris have just been able to get the fight victory. They've been able to push it all the way to overtime. It was so close on that last map. So I think it's still more than, there's plenty of potential already for seeing if there could be a reverse sweep on the table.
Yeah, I think if you're Veneris, the solution, it looks like this Saul team, they really love to dive. They really love to get aggressive. They really love that ball. And one very obvious solution is the Sombra. Sombra is the age-old wrecking ball counter. That hack, absolutely brutal for him. But that Mizuki is also really good for the side of Veneris, holding him still, but it's just not quite enough. So you get a Sombra, maybe a Mizuki as well. You stagger them, you use those cooldowns on the ball, and that instantly negates the ball pressure from Saul. So if that's what they got to do, it's an option they could try.
Yeah, I mean, they've really got to come up with a good strategy as well, because as much as their own player loves to play ball, you've really got to consider whether it's in your team's favor. I mean, I think you've been playing ball really well at Team Veneris, especially with your coordination as well. I think you've been doing quite well with that. Your Tracer is a good compositional choice to go with that, but you also have maybe the ball is just a little bit stronger. It's just a little bit more able to go for those kills for Soul. They've been set up just a little bit better, and those tiny little margins are what's making the difference between these two teams. Yeah, and you do have to come up with some kind of strategy against that if that's what the problem is. But you've also got the option of bans, and so maybe for Veneris, you could go ahead and ban Ball. But it does seem like we'll be going for a quick little break, so don't be going anywhere. I will be reading you guys your messages to see what you're expecting, because I think there's a good chance for a reverse sweep.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, again, we'll see. Alrighty,
Welcome.
welcome back. So we are in one of two territories. It is either the beginning of a reverse sweep or it is the knife's edge for Veneris, as we are going to go into map 3, which will be our escort. And now we already actually have the map picks for this, as well as bans. It's going to be Circuit Royale, which, you know what, for one of the newer maps, I do love it. It's a great poke map. And for our bans, we are going to have some very expected bans. Very, very expected bans. And
Yeah,
that
I
is
mean,
going to
this is an
be,
interesting Circuit Real that we're seeing here. It's my first time that I'm seeing a Circuit Real with an actual map now. Quite well known for their their pokey sort of compositions. The ball being banned, as you mentioned, by Veneris is the first time that they used that, but they're not going to be able to do that again. Sol meanwhile, they have banned Emre, which honestly is a character that's been doing a lot of work for Veneris. But perhaps we will be seeing the first time that Sol will be dropping a map.
yeah, I completely saw the ball ban coming. Veneris does not want to deal with that ball. Chasm absolutely playing out of his mind. So if you're Saul, you're just like, all right, let's just shut it down for one match just so we don't lose the series. And again, the Emre ban also makes sense because I feel like both Emres on both sides were just absolutely playing out of their minds that match. So that one I completely see coming. It's going to be sad that we're not going to get to see a little bit of Halo within Overwatch, but it's only one match. Reverse sweep could happen, then we could see plenty more Emre in the future.
uh, I do indeed hear you, Apollo Freak, but unfortunately, we started out already with a map paused. So I hope this is not going to be some kind of issue that will take too long to resolve.
You
These two
know, I
teams,
think I
though.
think Orpheus is just taking a bit of a bathroom break.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, just like, hold on, guys, hold on, everybody. Uh, uh, yes, it happened. It's one of those things that happens. You're like, all right, I'm ready, and then it comes out of nowhere. You're like, hold on, guys, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I'm not too sure myself. Um, but it's always good to make sure that you are refreshed when playing these kind of games. But it's not the only kind of thing that's important too. You've also got to make sure that your mental game is in the right place. You've really got to make sure that you're approaching this with the right kind of attitude, the right sort of mental game. You can't be, slacking, and you can't be, relaxed, right? You've got to be present. You've got to be making sure that you're focused on what's going to be happening. What's your plan? How do you win? What's your win condition? All of these things are really important. And if you're the team manager of these, if I was team manager, I'd certainly be telling my players to be readying up. It's focus time. We're going to take this fight to APL Seoul, for example, and we're going to make sure that they drop this map. It's going to be our victory. This is going to be our reverse sweep, no less.
We are gonna see very different comps from both sides. Jever and his team on Veneris looking to maybe to be a little more defensive, as Chasm looking to be a little more divey with the Winston. So I'm excited to see how this goes. Let's see which one wins out more. Doing a little salute at the door saying, tally ho door, I'll see you later. But Testo looking for anything he can. BB, though, is going to pick up Orpheus immediately. That's not what you want to see. Chasm, though, going to have to go deep to try and get any sort of value out of the Sigma. Is getting dangerously low. The lamp going to go down. Could Sigma go down here? Teko is going to get it. Chasm is going to take out his counterpart in Jever. Avalac, though, taking out V14, as it is going to be Sol slowly taking this point progress. Just a little bit of a back off coming out from the side. We do see the D.Va come out of Jever. It's a little bit of a switch there just to get back to the point fast. Chasm, though, taking any space that he can, is going to get incredibly aggressive since he knows there isn't a tank. The D.Va getting back. V14 just looking for any kills that he absolutely can. This D.Va probably not going to be what he wants to see, as Avalac does take out Orpheus. He's going to get a little bit eaten up there. BB going to take him out, and we might just see Veneris stabilize here.
Yeah, potentially as well, with a quick switch onto D.Va, who was recently nerfed, quite painfully actually, with the boosters, but I'm sure it's going to be not enough to really knock D.Va off this top spot. She does have a bit of an advantage going up against the Winston, who has been buffed
Avalac
recently.
going to take out V14 very early. That's not what you want to see. Soul might even just want to back out after that, as Orpheus themselves is also going to get insanely low, is going to get healed up, but low again. Yikes, though. Absolutely doubling down, is going to take out BB, but it doesn't matter as he's going to get rezzed anyways, as Avalac picks up Orpheus. But look at this. They're still fighting it. It's just an absolute trade. Right as I think the fight's about to end, Chasm listens to what I'm saying. He's like, nope, nope. Roll the script back. We're going to make it work. But Avalak, using the ult, is going to take 2. V14 going to take him out. But that might just be Veneris finally stabilizing. Probably using a little bit more ults than they figured they would have needed to.
You know, well, these fights have been so dynamic as well. They've been really pushing and pulling with the different kind of matchups, the team compositions, you name it. It's great to see, you know, Avalanche doing so much work as well on the Soldier. You're able to use those kills.
We see the sun
now we see more ultimates coming out line from both of these teams.
Is it going to find any value? Orpheus getting dangerously low. We do see 1 kill already from the sun, make it 2 with the help of V14. Avalak gets a pick, but it gets overshadowed in all these big red lights coming out from the side of Saul.
They're still trying to contest it, though, trying to die quickly. But those ultimates coming out from them, it's more than enough to displace them. And yet they didn't seem to overult at all. They just got such a massive value out of that Sun with that Illari, which is honestly like a 3rd DPS. No wonder they were able to put so much damage out.
I mean, fitting that the team named Saul is going to be good at using the power of the sun. Is Jever looking for this bomb, though? Do we see the Jever bomb? There it is. It's going to come out. Might be big. Takes out 2. That is both supports on the side of Saul down. That might just even be a quick cleanup from the side of Veneris right here, as Yikes is going to go down to his counterpart. Oh, no, V14. You can't shoot into the D matrix, and that is going to spell the end of that push.
Normally, Diva Bomb gets used as a remake to try and survive a little bit longer, but here, Jever, they have a different plan. They use it, get a double kill, and that's more than enough to turn the fight around and secure the victory for now. But they've got plenty of time left. 3 ultimates online as well. And they're going to be some pretty
like a strong
fast ultimates, surely.
Saul, Tire and Riptide coming out, looking to get any of the value can. Is the Tire going to find somebody? He's going way into the backline. He's going to not get anything, as the Immortality field is going to save the members of Veneris. But it does force out a lamp, and it does take a lot of space. We see the overclock coming out from the side of Yikes, dude. Is he going to find anyone with it? Make it 1 V14, following up with another kill of his own, as Saul is going to get pretty dominant with this point. Jever does get rest, while BB does pick up Chasm, but it doesn't matter. Jever goes immediately down, but BB playing out of his mind does take out Descart, but it doesn't matter, as Yikes, dude is going to take him out in return. And now it's going to be a very hard fought point take for the side of Saul.
You know, that Mercy Res as well on the Diva, it was ambitious, and I love it so much for it. Unfortunately, it did not work out for them this time. Yikes, dude, just going absolutely haywire, picking up all the kills that they needed and saying, hey, you know what? You know what, Avalanche? I can do that too. And they certainly succeeded.
Chasm, though, playing this monkey, trying to get any ground that he can. Ooh, he's got to watch out, though. He does get a little low there, and he does not have the ultimate yet. So, ooh, Birdie takes a lightning shot, gets a little tased there, feeling a little tingly. But it's going to be Chasm looking for all the members in the back line here, just getting all the poke that he can. He's going to use the Primal Rage. V14 going to follow him in, take out BB, but immediately dies to Jever. But Jever does take out V14. It's going to be a trade. This monkey still raging on. Not going to find anything else, but Descart is dangerously low. The DMAC, that's a dangerous position to be in. Yikes, dude. Just going to help Technochasm take Jever out, as Avalak does take out Descart. So it's still trade fest after trade fest. All you can trade. Jever is going to get res back up. We do hear a Riptide coming out. Is going to find any value. Jever going to remech, kill V14. You don't want to be standing there, buddy. As BB does pick up Yikes Dude as well. And now Saul finally getting pushed back a bit.
Yeah, well, Solo's just being able to get these big kills and big fights. And the thing is, it's not like
Chasm's
necessarily just
value
the
in here,
teamfight
though.
outcome.
He's got to be careful, though. He's getting dangerously low. He is going to get healed up, though.
Yeah, but it's also the amount of card progress that you're able to make, and Sol have made so much card progress all the way on to the final point, and that's putting them into a really
we see a
dangerous
Tire coming out. One
spot.
big boom. Does Jever want to follow it up with another big boom of his own? This Tire looking for, Immortality Field. He's got to survive through it. Ooh, he's not going to find anything with it. The overclock comes out from the side of APL Sol. Big bomb, but it doesn't find anything. Bit of a remech there, as Avalak does take out V14. All the members of APL Sol getting dangerously low, as BB does take out Yikes. Jever falls to Technochasm, though, but immediately gets rezzed by the Mercy. as we do see BB take out Discard as well, and this could very well be a stopped push for Sol.
Yeah, they are doing really well here with this, managing to get the kills that they need to do so, and surviving that tire as well, because that tire could have been absolutely massive, potentially 3-4K, turning the fight around, securing an easy and quick victory for them. But that is not
Yikes! You don't want to
get
be
the
there, man.
kill.
That is an instant fall, and you just gave BB dragons to use as well. Avalak falling too, though, so it is still an even fight. But Discard falls. Oh, C9! Oh, a Charlie Niner is what hands.
Yeah, no, they came out and they used it to try and get them off the point, but they just couldn't get back in time.
Oh,
a few meters remaining, was back capped by someone.
Veneris handing Sol a Charlie Niner map finish on a silver platter. That is going to be 33 seconds left. And what do we see coming out from the attack from Veneris? Let us find out in 6 seconds as the comps are about to be revealed.
Oh, yes, and this is going to be really interesting to see. I'm sure we're probably going to see a very similar lineup that we saw on the previous round here. Jeva going with the D.Va, hopefully having a little bit of an advantage going against the Winston, who has been buffed quite a lot recently, so not the same sort of hero that they were seen before.
Just boogieing down a little bit. Got what looks to be a little water snake around him, dancing with it. Getting funky, getting groovy.
Absolutely. The little healing orb of one of the newest heroes added into the roster. Not the most recent 5-hero release that we saw, but with that healing orb that they can give, they're able to get a lot of healing that they would have otherwise done. It's not really the beam that many people might be expecting, or their wave either.
Ooh. We do see Echo, Mercy, and D.Va come out from the side of Veneris. Yeah, from the side of Veneris. Maybe a little bit of Air Force One, as Avalak does take out Orpheus. He gets res, but V14 also gets a pick of his own, so it's going to be a little bit of a trade, a little bit of a scramble fight, as Veneris is trying to take a very offensive angle just to be sure that they can push this cart. A little bit of a sticky bomb coming out. They're not going to find anyone, but that is A-okay. It finds them space.
And space is all that they need as well. They really need to be pushing that as much as they possibly can, using the heroes that they have as well to really threaten the places that they can be that's safe, dealing that damage. So they have to go and retreat, which is how you play that monkey.
Chasm in a little bit of danger there. He does get out. Again, more sticky bombs coming out. But, yikes, dude. Waiting for it. Takes out BB. That could be what Sol needs to stabilize, as Avalak falls as well to V14. Jever just doing what he can to protect his teammates. Ooh, he is going to take out V14, so it could be a little bit of a turnaround, but they're going to have to do a little bit more, as Chasm is going to jump out. We are going to see a stabilizing foothold come out of Sol here. Jever just doing everything he can to get value, but the healing on the side of Sol is just too strong. But they're still getting cart push anyways, which is insane. They're just absolutely dominant in terms of base control. Maybe not in kills, but look at this. It gives them time to come back, and they might even just take the first point here unless Chasm can do something about it. Jever doing everything he can to just hold this point, hold this space. Gonna blast that turret. It's gonna get rid of a lot of healing for the side of Sol. We do see the sun come out, but it gets eaten! The sun gone into the void! Courtesy of Jever Bomb comes out! This could very well be it! Gets 2 with it! A tire is going to take out a nickel copy, but it may not matter, as Jever does pick up another one, make it BB picking up V14 as well, and that is going to be our first point taken for Veneris.
I mean, that Matrix swallow there on the sun, sure, it was the thing that turned the fight, but it didn't even appear to be intentional. Jever was just kind of walking back a little bit and seeing, oh, there's a sun, oh no, I'm going to use my Matrix and charge forward, and somehow they managed to eat it in all of this. They are able to get 1 kill with their bomb, and they also were able to destroy the Alari turret, but it's not enough.
Oh, V14, that's a good early fight pick. That could be what Sol needs to stabilize. A little bit of a tidal blast coming in as Avalak does get back up, but it doesn't matter. Patrice sacrificed his life nobly for that kill, so it is going to be dire straits for Veneris in this fight as V14 picks up Farouk as well. Orpheus takes out Birdie, and that could very well be Veneris just having to back off a bit here.
Yeah, they're really got to be a little bit careful here. They are doing a great job at finding the critical moments to find a headshot, a little kill here and there, and that is all that they need to secure that fight victory. That one play down is a whole bunch of resources, damage, just removed really from the opponents.
Ooh, Avalak probably looking to use this overclock. Never mind. V14 just going to say, nope, you don't get to use it, buddy. Go back to spawn. Jever, though, is going to take out V14, which could be the stabilization that they need to stay in this fight. A lot of util being broken, turrets, you name it. Jever, though, is going to take out Yikes as well, but he is going to get dangerously low here. His Pocket Mercy helping him out a little bit there as BB does take out Orpheus. So Veneris getting a little bit of a better trek forward as Avalak does get a kill onto V14 as well. And now, halfway through point 2, look at that. Still pushing, still trying to take all this space that they can to ensure that their team can get that point.
Well, I hope that it's going to be more than enough. They've certainly made plenty of progress for now. They're trying to contest this space as well, prevent them from staging an offensive, which is
Overclock coming out, but Avalak,
so well.
That's not what you want when you use it. Immediately falls to hit V14 and overclock down the drain as trades are coming out left and right. Now Yikes getting dangerously low, probably saying Yikes himself, trying to just live all he can, but he is going to take out BB anyways. Now Veneris actually has to back off because now it's an aggressive counter push coming from Chasm here and the rest of APL Sol.
Yeah, one thing that APL Sol have been doing so well repeatedly is staging with this tire.
It's from the top rope. Is it going to find anyone? No, it's not.
I'm certainly going to put a damper on them, though. They're not able to perform this dive just yet. Are they able to find the trap, though? And they know where they are. Surely they're going to be able to find at least some kind of kill. Or they're just going to keep taking their time, biding the time, and stage as Ultimate's coming out already.
Window comes out. Immediate trade results could go either way. BB does pick someone up, but Farouk is going to get brought back up, but BB's going to fall back down anyways. So the Sun not going to get any kills. Never mind. It picks up Avalak and a support, and that could very well be Veneris. Back to the lab, back to the drawing board, reviewing the VODs, looking at the blueprints. Farouk gets a kill, but it hardly matters as he might even fall himself. Just barely gets saved by the Mercy.
That's hilarious. They're trying to stall the
wow, they're really trying this.
Wrong.
They're really trying this. Will it work though? It could. It very well could. Deskart getting dangerously low is going to fall to Avalak. So the dream is alive here for Veneris as all the members of Sol are getting low and the point is making progress. Someone on the side of Sol has to touch and it's not going to happen. As Veneris is actually going to take that.
Oh,
that is
I'm not even
insane.
sure what's going on anymore half the time, but this is going well. I love this. This is, I mean, they're trying to stall out the Baptiste, but unfortunately it doesn't go well. They're able to get a kill, force the ultimate
Chasm,
as well out of the monkey, and now
Chasm,
they're left in a fight where they can just
you don't have
him
an
down.
And now, look at that. Avalak takes out Orpheus. And Veneris is getting a lot of good point progress. They're stuffing Sol in spawn. Avalak probably looking for an opportunity to use this overclock. Might even just use it as they're walking out now. But he's got to watch out. His counterpart has one too. Jever looking for what he can. Avalak, though, going to fall to V14. They don't have that overclock anymore. But V14 immediately falls to BB as well. So it still is an even trade. Could go either way. And now both teams just absolutely duking it out. Riptide comes in. Is Jever looking for another big kaboom? He could be looking for it. BB does pick up Chasm. This will be the golden opportunity. No tank, no bubble. This, he could just put it right here if he really wanted. I know the temptation to press Q is there. As BB does pick up 2, he's not even going to need the bomb anymore. As Veneris might just take it here. Tire comes out, not going to find any value though. He's going to fall to BB as well. The overclock finally coming out. This could very well be it. He hunts one head. Is he going to make it 2? He's got to be careful, though. The counterpart is going to overclock as well. Chasm going to pick up Jever. So down to tank, but he is going to pick up his counterpart. That is exactly what you're looking for. If you're Avalanche, it is open season and you are looking for heads. Chasm, though, going to finally take him out. Primal out of BB. Little bit of a copy there. But He's looking like he's going to replace him as the better monkey, as Veneris is getting all the kills. The sun coming out, but not going to find the value that it's looking for. And Veneris could very well be taking the point right here.
Oh my word, that was a close fight for sure, but thanks to that ultimate advantage that they had going into this final point, Veneris are able to pick up the round so far, putting us into 3-3 into another round of this. So they're going to be going back again. Not something that we tend to see very often in most tournaments. Often the difference between these teams tend to be a little bit larger. So seeing, around 3 in here is going to be interesting. I'm not sure what these teams are going to be taking into this.
Bar. So sad. So much champagne down the drain. But anyways.
So true.
We are going to see Sol with 33 extra seconds, potentially 1 extra fight. So they could, if they really buckled down, they could hold Veneris right here, have that 33 extra second advantage, maybe take the series with this map. But only time will tell.
Only time will tell. They're already setting up a little bit of a trap here from Via. And I like this idea as well. Should be able to pick them off before they go. Again, same kind of compositions that we were seeing before. No real changes. So I think this is only going to come down to how well these teams can use their ultimates.
Ooh, but here we go. Veneris coming out the gates, pushing with 1 minute left. Let's see what they can accomplish in such a short amount of time. Chasm just holding off the Ramatra now. We haven't seen that today. Jever getting a little creative today, though. I'm a big fan of the Ramatra pick. We do see a bubble come out just to kind of keep the teammates alive, isolate a little bit. Get Chasm gonna fall to BB. This could start a very good push for Veneris, as they do already get a good amount of point progress here with just the 1 minute. The Ramatra just doing what he can to cut off the escape. Ooh, you gotta watch out there, BB. You're getting dangerously low. You're in dangerous territory. You're on the knife's edge. And all this space taken by Jever is allowing the rest of his team to push for free. Ooh.
It really is as well. They're just able to punish that Winston so well that going out of the way to melt them.
Is going to pick up Farouk, but he is going to get immediately res, but BB going to fall to V14. This could spell the end of the push, but Orpheus does fall to Avalak. But V14 absolutely playing out of his mind this fight. Avalak going to fall to his counterpart, and Yikes, dude, very dicey fight there, Vice. V14 takes out Patisserie, and that is going to be all she wrote for Veneris's push. Can it be matched?
I think that it's pretty close to being matched. They didn't get it too far. They didn't manage to get it to the first point, which is really the keystone, honestly, in these sort of situations on this map. If you're able to get it to the first point, then you are, you're almost certain going to be getting that victory. But if you're not, you're putting yourself in a really difficult situation. You've got to hold this first point very well. And I think that Sol being the aggressors here, they have got so much opportunity to set up and get those kills, and that is what they've been doing so well, so much previously. So the advantage is really in Sol's favor right now.
Yeah, the only thing standing between APL Sol and semifinals right now is 68.14 meters of distance.
And one extra team fight as well for Sol with that slightly larger team bank, all thanks to that cheeky little C9 that happened previously.
Exactly. So if you're Veneris, you need perfect hold, an ironclad hold, a steel trap as one might call it. And if you're Sol, you just need a little bit of luck, a little bit of charisma, and a little bit of fervor. And
this is the time where you really need to be bringing out the guns, the full weapons of your might to try and get this victory.
We are going to see Chasm playing it very carefully. He doesn't want to waste any resources. Jever getting dangerously low. They're going to guard the spawn. That could very well be an early disaster. But Avalanche does pick up Orpheus. But it might not be as much as a tank value, so it could very well still be Sol taking it here. They are going to take so much space. The lamp coming out just to save the members of Veneris. And now they don't have that lamp for when they could really need it. And that very well could be Jever coming back, saving the point for a little bit. But look at this! 2 kills coming out of the side of Veneris. That could very well be the foothold that they needed.
But
Make
they
it
don't want to be losing
V14
any of
falling
the
as
members here,
well.
because if they do, then they're going to be in ripe trouble, because APL Seoul, they've got one more attack left, and there's only a few meters remaining, and they certainly don't want to see a repeat of that C9.
One more fight. This could be the series for APL Seoul, and we are about to see it come to fruition. Monkey diving in deep, getting any value he can. BB falls immediately. That's not good. Make it Jever falling as well. 3. BB gets res, but it doesn't matter. Look at all the members of falling. This could be the dream falling apart for Veneris, as our series is going to go a 3-0 to APL Seoul.
Oh, tragedy strikes for Veneris. They were so close to seeing a dream, perhaps even a reverse sweep, but unfortunately, it is GG's all around. APL Seoul, they just set up so well on that final attack, and they had the extra time to afford them the ability to have that extra fight. They could take that. They could do that, and it wasn't all over in the same way as before. That extra 30 seconds was just make or break, literally the deciding factor.
That extra 30, the load-bearing 33 seconds, as some might call it. But wow, what a fight at the end there. What this means is we will see Seoul versus Deimos next week in our semifinals. But overall, who do you think is MVP for both sides? Let's start with Seoul.
Oh my word. From Seoul, I think I'm gonna have to give it to Via. Honestly. I mean, as much as I think the supports of Seoul were doing an amazing job all around, you know, with Orpheus and Dez doing a great job with you know, getting those sun kills, getting the beats, getting the picks that they needed to. Via, I think I just have to give it to them personally. But what did you think?
I think it's, if not Via, then it's gotta go to Chasm. Chasm playing out of his mind, especially in that last fight. Both picks in that last fight that won them the series, both were Chasm getting super aggressive, just taking out a DPS, taking out a support, taking out a tank that allowed them to really push it over. So I would say, if not Via, then Chasm for sure.
Yeah, I think as well, like I think it really depends on who's making the calls, you know, for this team, because those coordination was absolutely impressive, and that you don't just happen that overnight. So, you know, maybe I relent. Maybe I do agree with you that Chasm should get you know, an MVP, because they really were just playing it absolutely incredibly time after time. But what about Venris?
Veneris. I would say for Veneris, I think the real playmaker for Veneris, at least in that last map, was definitely Patisserie. Those were insanely vital reses that helped. But I think overall, I think we got to give it to BB. BB was popping off on this Echo, this Tracer, the whatever other DPS characters, even the Hanzo when they were doing the poke battles in one of the maps. It was BB really getting those plays.
Yeah, you know, I think I have to agree with you as well. BB there doing a great job on all of the heroes that they were playing, whether it was Tracer or the Echo. They were just doing a great job all around, really. Uh, I have to agree with you on that.
But yeah, that will be today's match. Let's give a little bit of a congratulations to APL Seoul, as they will be going against a team they're probably very familiar with, which will be APL Deimos. And there we have it right there. This is what our bracket is looking like. 3 APL teams and a non-APL team. But with that, if there's anything is there anything else you would like to say? Anything you can think of? Because
I'm sure there's many things that I would like to say, but do we have time for it? I don't think so. But I do think though that if you are interested in watching any of those either of those two matches, for the semi-finals, we've got APL Seoul versus APL Desmos. I don't know whether Desmos will be, maybe they'll be flying a little bit too close to the sun. Maybe they'll crash out onto Mars. But it's going to be an interesting fight for sure. I was expecting Monkeys to be a little bit more making progress, which is surprising for me. But on the flip side, we've got Circus versus another Apollo team. And so they are the only hope to make sure that we don't have any kind of Apollo lockouts. And if you want to catch any of those matches, then make sure to follow us here on Twitch for the latest news, the announcements when we go live. Including in our Discord, and you can catch all of our VODs as well on YouTube on a Crown Cup Esports.
Yeah, this has been a phenomenal first week of playoffs and a great match to end it on. But with that, we will see you all next week in semifinals.
Yeah, indeed. And perhaps we'll even get to see another moment of V14 not dying miraculously on King's Row. I really wish we did have that clip available to us, but I suppose we don't have that yet. So it'll be around soon. But that is all for now. I will hopefully to catch you soon. I look forward to it.
I look forward to it too. But yeah, y'all have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next week.